Question 17. This question focuses on sentence structure with punctuation and colon use. Oh, I love the colon. Let's take a moment and talk about the colon. Now, the colon is like the grammar equivalent to an equal sign. You also might want to think about it as taking the place of the phrase, for example. The key here is what the colon must follow. The colon must follow an independent clause. Let's look at an example. While on vacation in Hawaii, I went on so many amazing adventures. Okay, got an introductory clause here, we got our independent here. So, what kinds of things might follow the colon? Well, maybe a for example, a list of things. That's probably the use that you're most familiar with. So something like hiking along a volcano, surfing the ocean, and snorkeling in the crystal clear water. But it's not just a list that can follow the colon. You can also have another independent clause, like, I had never before hiked along a volcano. Since that's still, for example, an amazing adventure, it still works. You can even make that sentence even longer. I had never before hiked along a volcano, surfed in the ocean, or snorkeled in crystal clear water. So you can have a list and you can have an independent clause. A structure that may seem awkward but is perfectly grammatically correct is to have a dependent clause following that colon. Like, even hiking along an active volcano. Again, because that is equal to or an example of amazing adventures, it works following the colon. So maybe you're thinking, can I just put anything after a colon? Well, let's see. How about, I cannot wait to go back to Hawaii? Is that equal to amazing adventures? Is that an example of amazing adventures? No, it is not. And so that cannot be a colon. It would have to be a semicolon because they're both independent clauses and they're connected in content, right? We're still on the same topic. So to review, your colon must follow an independent clause. It could be a list. It could be a dependent clause. It could be an independent clause. But it must be equal to or, for example, an example of what came before it. Okay, let's go back to question 17. Over time, your improvement can diminish until you reach a plateau. That is an independent clause. But let's look at the second part. The second part is, you're doing fine, but you don't seem to improve beyond a certain skill level. That's actually two independents. We have here, comma, but, and we have here. So if we look at choice A, how it just has comma so, comma but, do you see how we have 1, 2, 3 independent clauses separated by commas? And that, my friends, is a run-on sentence. We can't do that. Choice C tries to fix this run-on sentence issue, right? And it does it by doing compound verbs. Over time, your improvement can diminish until you reach a plateau, doing fine, and don't seem to improve beyond it doesn't make any sense. It was an interesting idea, but it doesn't work here. Choice D, maybe they've solved it. Look, they have a semicolon right here and a comma, but look so very carefully. Do you see? There's no you right here. What that means is they've changed this part and it now reads, you're doing fine but don't, which means you're doing and you don't. Do you see how they turn that into a compound verb? So that would mean that choice D can't have this comma here. They've added in an error by removing the word you. This means that B is going to be our best answer. Colon here means for example. Over time, your improvement can diminish until you reach a plateau. For example, you're doing fine, but you don't seem to improve beyond a certain skill level. Isn't that literally the definition of reaching a plateau? It is the perfect place for a colon, and that's why our best answer is B.